Now, our next candidate is someone for whom I've gained a great deal of respect over the last couple of months. He starts the gubernatorial race less well known than our first two guests, but where we celebrate a leader who waded into difficult primary fights because he knew the stakes were too high to sit it out on the sidelines. This candidate is the mayor of a Democrat-majority town in Franklin Township, Somerset County. He's a certified public accountant dedicated to smaller and more efficient government. Please welcome Brian Levine.
Thank you very much for the invitation, and thank you to the honored guests. And no slight meant to you, but especially thank you to all of you non-elected people who come here and welcome me here, because those were the roots of Ronald Reagan. Yes, he had those who were in favor of him, but he won the hearts and minds not only of the Republican Party, of course, but of the vast majority of Democrats, too. I think it comes down to a couple things: integrity and conviction. He stood up for his convictions, and he led with integrity. And I found, and I was just discussing this with a couple of you earlier, I believe even those who disagreed with President Reagan voted for him and honored him because they could respect someone who had convictions, knew what he wanted, and went forth on that. He didn't feel like he had to pander. He didn't feel like he had to address the right audience with the right words all the time. He had a soul with convictions and integrity, and that's how he led, on those principles. So, to paraphrase President Reagan a little bit, I'll ask you, do you think you're better off now than when the McGreevey-Corzine administration started? No. So that's, and I run with a good group of colleagues here for governor, and I do say that any of us will bring us forth out of this malaise that New Jersey's in. And as a CPA, I see it myself firsthand. I see it because clients of mine are denied loans which they were formerly approved for and can't get businesses going because the climate's not right. And I've had clients under this tax situation who have told me, at least one, I am leaving New Jersey for New York City because I will pay lower taxes. New Jersey doesn't get it. We have to come back to our conviction of ideas. And I remember when President Reagan was Governor Reagan, and I have to say I remember reading this as opposed to firsthand, that when he was governor, unlike us, there was a surplus in the California economy. And what did he do? He didn't go try and find some project to put it in. He gave the money back to the taxpayers. He said, I'm sending you a check back. We're losing jobs in my town. We've hopefully worked things right since I've been mayor. Our jobs are up 16%. We're about 65,000 residents, spread over 40 square miles. And we do that by, again, going with the right things. President Reagan welcomed the businesses. They weren't evil to him. He tried to bring them in. He tried to help them with their taxes. That's what I do. That's what I would like to do as governor too. On a note which some people say is not that important, but for me it's nice to know. If you read his book, An American Life, or any of the books about it, he's always known as a nice guy. He was a leader. He was strong. He stood up to the Soviet Union. He helped the Berlin Wall collapse, but he did it with humor and respect. So on a local issue of New Jersey, I want to quote Nancy Reagan a little bit. And when the COA rules come out from our Supreme Court, I think we should have an executive who stands up and says, just say no. So, I think and I'll have to tell you one other thing, and this is probably not a good thing to say, but I'll come clean. I was raised in a Democratic family. We have very interesting arguments coming into last election. So coming up to the 70s, my family was Democratic. Coming into and out of the Reagan Revolution is when I became a Republican. And I hope our ideas can go forward to do best for New Jersey. And we should never, ever forget the legacy of Ronald Reagan. I don't think with this kind of gathering we ever will. So thank you again. God bless. Be well.